Welcome to History Revamped. Roman Empire was such an enormous military hegemon that it conquered almost whole civilized world. It couldn't be achieved if it had an amazing military tactics and professional army. No wonder that Roman military tactics are still studied at military schools and staff colleges to this day. The ancient Greeks of Macedonia arranged themselves in a rectangular phalanx to fight, with concentrations of elite fighters and subunits with their own officers. The Romans, though, took this organization to new heights. Key to their success was the standardization of equipment and training, which included a short list of terse commands that every soldier understood completely. In this video I would like to show you, despite the fact that Rome's military was supremely adaptable, quickly changing to the challenge in front of it, but yet used the three tactics that stood the test of time. 1. The testudo. It's easy to see where the tortoise formation got its name. Their uniquely large scuda, as the Roman shields were called, allowed them to present a 360-degree wall of wood to opponents. The front rank of the formation would kneel behind their interlocked shields, over a meter in height. The second rank would hold their shields above the heads of the men in front, and so on. If all-round protection was needed, men on the flanks and at the rear could also present and lock their nearly meter-wide shields together, their sharply curved fronts forming an excellent missile barrier. Some descriptions of the testudo discriminate between heavily armed infantry with curved scuda and lighter troops with flat shields, who provide the roof to the tortoise. 2. The triple line. One innovation on the Greek phalanx that the Romans introduced was a triple line formation of three distinct ranks. Military seniority was the key to where a legionary stood in the battle order. Surprisingly, the least seasoned men, hastati, made up the front rank. Behind them were the principes and, finally, the triarii, veterans of combat. In front of the whole lot stood the unfortunate velites, the newest and usually poorest recruits, who would launch javelins at approaching enemies before melting back behind the triarii. The final rank, which could be some distance back, was the line beyond which the Roman legionary would not retreat. Falling on the triarii passed into common usage, meaning facing a last-ditch struggle. The three lines would often line up. A legion's battle formation could be upwards of a mile, with alternating gaps, presenting a wider but still apparently unbroken fighting front. These gaps gave the already flexible legion even more room for maneuver and allowed the rear ranks to step up into a threatened line. 3. The wedge. The Roman army was the ancient world's master of formation movement, with a menu of pre-drilled movements at the general's fingertips. On the cry, "Cuneum formate," the legionaries would form a wedge and charge at the opposition. It's a matter of simple physics. A sharp point drives deep into the body of enemy soldiers, while a thickening mass behind expands to further divide their forces. Just as a wooden wedge can split a log, a human one can smash an opposition force. The point of the wedge would be made of deep lines of the best troops, allowing for concentration of killing power against a weaker enemy. This mismatch of blades or missiles allows the wedge in to force a gap that can be widened by the rest of the formation against an enemy that is being compressed into a smaller space. I hope you enjoyed the video. If yes, remember to subscribe and like.